Hey guys, this is Sunsfan with an introduction to Brewmaster. Brewmaster is a strength initiation hero whose unique skill set allows him to tank as well as evade a lot of damage. Brewmaster's first skill is called Thunderclap. No, this isn't a kind of STD, but in fact an AoE spell that when used will damage and slow enemies in a 400 AoE around Brewmaster. At its highest level, it will deal 300 damage and slow both enemy movement speed as well as attack speed by 55% for 4.25 seconds. However, against creeps, these effects will last 8 seconds. Drunken Haze is a single target skill that will create a debuff to enemy units which lasts 8 seconds on heroes and 12 seconds on creeps. This debuff will slow enemies' movement speed by 26%, as well as give them a 75% chance to miss on attacks. Drunken Brawler is a passive ability that will provide Brewmaster the opportunity to dodge 25% of the attacks towards him, as well as give him a 25% chance to critical strike for 2 times his normal damage. The evasion from this skill does not stack with Butterfly or Heaven's Halberd. And finally, we reach Brewmaster's ultimate, which is named Primal Split. When activated, Brewmaster will split into 3 warriors, each with their own skill set. These units will last 19 seconds. The 3 units that we'll go over are the Earth Warrior, Storm Warrior, and Fire Warrior. The Earth Warrior, which Brewmaster will take over by default once the 19 seconds is up, has 3 abilities. Hurl Boulder is the first ability, and it's a single target 2-second stun that will deal 100 damage. The rest of Earth Warrior spells are passive. The first one is Spell Immunity, which does exactly what you think. It renders him completely invulnerable to spells. He also has a passive called Pulverize, which gives him a 20% chance to deal 40 damage to units in a small 150 AoE. Oh, also one last thing to mention about the Earth Warrior. He deals a max of 171 damage and has 3,000 health. Yeah. The Storm Warrior deals up to 84 damage and sports a 1,500 health pool, all while having 4 spells to boot. Brewmaster will take over this warrior once the duration is up, if and only if the Earth Warrior is killed. The Storm Warrior's first ability is called Dispel Magic. This is a 200 AoE ability that will remove all buffs from the units in the area. It will also deal 200 damage to summon units. His second ability is single target, and it's called Cyclone. This will toss an enemy unit in the air, therefore rendering them useless. Heroes will be disabled for 6 seconds, while creeps will be stuck up there for a whopping 20 seconds. Next we have Windwalk, which will allow you to become invisible for 20 seconds, all while gaining a 50% movement speed buff. Similar to Shadow Blade, if you break the invisibility with an attack, you'll deal 100 bonus damage. His last spell is a passive, and it's called Resistant Skin, which will reduce the duration of debuffs and will also render you immune to certain spells. Last but not least, we have the Fire Warrior, who sports only 1200 health, but deals a respectable 140 damage. He only has 2 skills and both are passive. One of the skills is the Resistant Skin we just talked about, but the second one is called Permanent Immolation, which will burn enemies in a 220 AoE for 55 damage a second. One last thing to mention about the Fire Warrior is that he runs at the maximum 522 move speed at all times. Believe it or not, Aghanim Scepter does work on Brewmaster. This will decrease the cooldown of his ultimate from 140 seconds to 120, increase the duration of his warriors from 19 seconds to 26, and buff the stats of all the warriors. The Earth Warrior will gain 800 extra health as well as 20 damage. The Storm Warrior will gain 900 bonus health as well as a ridiculous plus 102 damage. And finally, the Fire Warrior will gain plus 40 damage. Sorry for sounding like a tranny, just a little bit under the weather.
Thanks for watching, guys, and please remember to support us by subscribing to our YouTube. Also be sure to check out our website at dotacinema.com. My name is Sunsfan, and we love you all, trolls included.